Did you know Nike used simple math to create this year's Ordem 5 match ball, which will be used in the Premier League, Serie A, and La Liga? They took the already great Ordem 4, added 1, and now we have the Ordem 5. Really, that's the only difference, just 5 instead of 4. What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a quick review of the Nike Ordem 5 match ball. Retail price remains the same at $160 US, so this would essentially be your alternative to an Adidas match ball, either the regular league variants or, of course, the Champions League ball. So essentially in this video, we're going to discuss what this product is all about and whether or not it's the right match ball for you. If you're interested in one of these, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you will find buy it now links for all the variations of the Ordem 5 match ball for below its normal $160 retail price. So if you're interested in one, first link down below, be sure to check it out. Pretty much the only thing they've changed coming from Ordem 4 to Ordem 5 is the graphics on the surface, which does impact the way the ball looks. It's not an insignificant thing, but the physical ball itself is exactly the same as the Ordem 4, which was exactly the same as the Ordem 3, which was pretty much the same as the Ordem 2. You get the idea. They don't really change all that much year to year for their match ball. So you can see it has this interesting kind of outline to the pentagon shaped panels and like a dark green, almost black color. And of course that will change depending on the actual ball itself. This of course being the La Liga variation. Every league has its own kind of color, with this of course having a white base. They'll all have a white base except for the high vis variations with that green and neon yellow kind of like streak look to it. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Obviously the emphasis here is clear visibility, whether the ball is not spinning or spinning through the air in pretty much most weather conditions that aren't extreme weather conditions. In that case, you would want the high visibility variation. You can see it's got a bright orange Nike swoosh on there, so that stands out really nicely. And then it's got the typical things you'd find, the Nike Ordem branding there, the FIFA approved logo. It does have the La Liga branding right there as well. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. Out of all the Ordem match balls we've had, this gets a pass as far as design is concerned, but I can't say it's the best looking one we've had over the years. Here's a really quick look at the other one I have. This is actually the blank Ordem 5, so no league branding on it at all. White base, of course. The outline for the pentagons are solid black, and then it has the orange and neon yellow streaks running through with pretty much all the same colors everywhere else. Orange swoosh, silver outline, and then all the logos are black. So pretty straightforward. I actually think this looks a little bit better than the green one. So obviously we know how the ball looks, but how does it actually perform? Is it actually worth the $160 price tag? And obviously that's something you really have to determine for yourself. But if you're looking for an outright straight up performance product, the best of the best in terms of soccer balls or footballs, I really think the Ordem 4 is truly one of the best options out there. What's interesting about this particular design is it does have these pentagon shaped panels, which if you look at the ball from a distance, a lot of people will just think that all these little panels right here are individual panels, which would mean that this ball is made up of a lot of panels, but that's not actually the case. What's happening here is you have large pentagon shaped panels, and then within those panels, you have what are called arrow track grooves, because you'll notice that they're just grooves. They don't actually go to the edges. They're simply in the middle of the pentagons, kind of dividing up the surface area. And the reasoning for that is to allow air to more cleanly pass over all sides of the ball, which is supposed to allow for better flight path, more predictable flight path, more predictable, I guess, better speed through the air, essentially making the ball more aerodynamic. It's something that's very scientific in terms of how Nike develops it, but it does actually perform quite well. And I would say that out of all the match balls, the Ordem 5 is one of the more predictable ones. It's not really gonna bobble around or do something you weren't expecting it to do. Essentially, if you kick the ball straight, it tends to go straight. All the panels, as you can see, are completely fused together and the construction is top notch. These tend to hold up extremely well if durability is a concern. Not gonna hold up all that well on concrete or asphalt. It's really just made for natural grass, and even it will hold up on artificial grass as well. Although keep in mind that AG surfaces is going to be much harder on the finish of the ball, mainly in regards to the coloring. So that will wear away with pretty much any match ball that's regularly used on artificial grass. Is that really hurting the durability? No, not necessarily, but if durability is a concern, the match balls in general, based on my experience, tend to hold up the best out of any of the lower price point soccer balls. You can see the valve area right there, very cleanly finished. super well balanced ball. It's got a decent weight to it, a firmer feel in general. This is one of those match balls that to me almost feels like it needs to be broken in a little bit the first time that you use it. It's definitely gonna feel a little bit too firm. You can see that it does have a micro texturing on the surface as well. And then up close, one of the slight modifications that they have made, I think we first saw this on the Ordem 3, if I remember correctly, is a little bit of extra texturing on the surface. You can see it kind of well here because it is slightly dirty because this is a used ball, but it does add that little bit of extra grip. And I would say in wet weather playing conditions in general, the upper of the ball or the surface of the ball doesn't feel overly slick. So as a whole, in terms of pretty much any measurable performance characteristic, I think that the Ordem 5 is an excellent option as a soccer ball in general. It truly is one of the best ones out there. Anyways, guys, that is it for my review of the Ordem 5. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in one of these for yourself, you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick up the Ordem 5 below its normal $160 retail price in multiple different variations, not just the one I'm holding here in my hands. If you have any questions for me, as always, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. I already said that, but I'm gonna keep going anyways. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. All my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.